Alright, chat, how y'all boy doing? Look, chat, listen, chat, listen, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I was so bored, bro. Like, after my birthday, bro, like, it was a banger birthday, bro. Like, I got so many DMs on my Instagram, like, y'all boys going crazy, like, replying to the story on my note, all that, bro. Even from some of y'all from YouTube. Matter of fact, a lot of y'all from YouTube when I had made the last video last week. Oh, matter of fact, today is actually the day after my birthday, okay? So I'm actually making this after my birthday. I was so bored. I was like, bro, I gotta go ahead and get some videos ready for y'all boys next week. So y'all gonna see this video on Monday and stuff like that. But look, we ain't even gonna do too much talk. I appreciate y'all boys so much. I love y'all boys so much. Today, chat, we got more scary. Ain't gonna lie, bro. Y'all love the scary videos. And look, I got y'all boys with more. So look, this video may be crazy. Cause I had seen the thumbnail of the video. The channel will be in the description below. I had seen the thumbnail of the video and it looks kind of crazy. You see the thumbnail of my video too? It looks kind of crazy and stuff like that. But we ain't even finna do too much talking, bro. Make sure y'all boys subscribe right here. It literally pop up right here. Make sure y'all boys subscribe. Let's go ahead and go into it. I miss doing these videos, chat. I miss y'all boys, man. Let's go ahead and get into it though. Alright, so look, we got 4 true terrifying horror stories animated. Alright, we got 4. We got 4 goodies today, so let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see.
I just finished moving into my new house. An old tiny 2-bedroom, 1 bath. Aside from having a friend helping with furniture, I spent the entire day moving boxes by myself. Naturally, I was exhausted. Way too tired to
Yo, these anime type characters, bro, I ain't gonna cap, bro. I ain't never this is animated, but it look like type of like anime type. I don't know if anime is like part of, I don't know.
Making my bed. So I plopped down onto the couch and quickly began fading off to sleep.
Golly.
I was disturbed by the doorbell. It was nighttime, but not that late, so I didn't want to be rude and ignore my new neighbors. When I opened the door, I was met with a woman. She could have been in her 30s.
Ah, whoa. Ain't gonna count. Yeah, I ain't going for it. What y'all gonna do if y'all see this person literally at y'all door standing looking like this? It's like a female version of Siren Head, bro. What the world?
Frail bones, like she hadn't had a bite of food in months. Her hair, while messy, was a strikingly bright blonde, and her eyes were an equally piercing blue. Beyond her physical appearance, she had this unnerving aura. The second I saw her, my heart skipped a beat. Perhaps if she'd been healthier and cleaner, I would have been instantly attracted to her. But instead, her presence set alarms off in my brain. Maybe I knew subconsciously
do
that
not smile with your teeth.
Was a blatant
do
lie,
not smile with your
or
teeth.
that her eyes were devoid of any warmth that should have been there. As she opened her mouth to speak, I couldn't understand what she was saying at first. My mind was focused elsewhere, on the pungent smell of dry hunger on her breath. Her eyes had dipped down as she spoke, and for some reason, it made me think she was sizing me up for her next meal. Once
you see, if it was some bad stuff, wow, we ain't gonna say too much. But
after her words, I realized she said,
"You can let her get. You must give her opportunity."
Neighbor, in a crackling yet alluring voice. I stuttered as I replied that I was. Then she said that she noticed I had moved in alone. I tried to think back if I had seen her among the people in the neighborhood earlier, but I couldn't remember anyone who looked remotely like her. Despite the creeps I was getting, I didn't think she posed a threat, given that I was a foot taller and probably had 100 pounds on her. So I kept the door open for a short conversation.
Now, like, let's talk about this outfit right quick. Like, you know what I mean? You I know you got a phone on you, little twin. I know you probably don't, but you know, when you get one, you know what I'm saying, download this app called Shein, bro. Ain't gonna lie. Everybody's starting to shop on Shein, even the bros. They be getting these little spider hoodies and these little internal hoodies. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Shein kind of coming up. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all call me broke if you want. I don't care. Shein be going crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Word, like, it's just like, it's only right though. She ain't gonna get you right though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm finna start ordering off of Shein OD.
She asked if I had plans to get a roommate for my second bedroom, but I explained I was gonna use it more like an office. This made her frown. Then she said, "Well, isn't that lonely?" I answered no, because I like to live alone.
You're not coming in here.
That's when the woman stepped through the door.
Hey, twin. Hey, heck nah. Look. So look. Oh my God. You already know what I'm about to say. Nah. I gotta go full screen again on y'all boys. You already know what's finna happen. Editor, you already know. Nah. Listen. You gonna try to come in my crib after, like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even say you can come in my crib. But look, I'm gonna teach y'all something. Somebody that do that to you, they come in your crib. When you open that door, make sure you got straps showing in the pants, twin. For me, I got a Gen 5 with a 50 round Chris Vesta man with a switch, a gold switch at that. Cause I ain't playing. Ain't gonna lie, I can't have the ski mask on. It's gonna mess up my hair.
Placed one hand on my chest and wrapped another around my waist.
Hang on, Cap Twin. Go ahead and get. If you give me a smooch on them drop behind lips, bro. I'm about to make sure I have a grenade in my pocket in GTA 5. I'm gonna make sure a grenade is straight in my pocket, and I'm literally just gonna pull the pin, bro. We gonna blow everybody down, including me, bro. No Corey Kenshin, bro. Ain't gonna lie, it's only right. You coming into my crib trying to give me a little. You come in my crib trying to give me a little smooch, and I like what you doing, bro? Like, go ahead. I ain't gonna lie, this jump might be disgusting.
Then she whispered, "If you'd like to change your mind, I can keep you company tonight." Her words sent a chill down the length of my spine and split my brain in two. Thankfully, I chose reason. Without saying a word, I took her hands off me and pushed her out the door, slamming it in her face.
Yup.
I waited.
Matter of fact, why would I close that door? Hold on. Hey, I got one more thing for you. I got a drink.
Waited for her to ring the bell again, to start banging on the door and scream that I was a pig. But there was nothing from the other side of the threshold but deafening silence. Maybe 10 seconds later, I looked through the peephole. She was gone, but I hadn't seen her leave. It was like she vanished. I was freaked the hell out. Was this going to be a recurring thing? What kind of sicko swinger neighborhood had I just moved into?
Yo, what is that stuff on my TV?
Maybe she was homeless and desperate.
Can y'all see that?
I didn't know. But it was one of those encounters that made me wish I had a cabinet full of liquor and a fridge full of beer.
Okay, whoa, not too much, gang.
With nothing in the house to calm me down. I just had to hope that I was exhausted enough to pass out on my own. I laid on the couch again, and after a little while of tossing and turning, I did manage to fall asleep. There, I fell into a strange and vivid dream. Without covers, wearing only the clothes I had moved in, I felt cold. This coldness was alleviated by a warm, comforting entity crawling up into my arms and settling.
Yo, wait.
It was like a loyal dog or loving companion.
Whoa.
At first, I welcomed this dream, but then it soured. The entity would not lie still.
Oh, she eating.
It squirmed and writhed,
No, not like that.
scratching at my stomach, like it was trying to dig ever deeper for more comfort. I wanted out. I opened my eyes and saw the most horrifying sight of my life. The woman from the door was lying with me. I wanted to scream and shove her across the room, but I couldn't move. It was like sleep paralysis, and she was my demon.
I don't know if I should
blur
blur
this. She
this.
was clawing at my stomach, tearing through my skin.
I don't know if I should blur this. Like, I don't think it's nothing bad, because, you know, the lady not doing anything. She's just on his chest and stomach. So, word, YouTube, chill, just vibe. You know, it's animated, by the way. It's all animation. So, yeah.
Finally, I shot awake. But then I realized it had never been a dream. She was really there.
I would have.
I broke free and jumped off the couch. She fell when I went out from under her, hitting the floor hard. Then she looked up at me and let out an ear-piercing scream. I could only...
You screaming after I wake up, man. You over here, ah! Shut up, man. I ain't trying to hear all that, man. Get out my house, man. Matter of fact, go ahead and enjoy this switch. Enjoy this switch I got, buddy.
Screamed back like a panicking wild animal. I was ready to fight her, to break every brittle bone in her body.
Please do.
She'd shot me full of adrenaline, and I think even in her crazed state, she knew this. After looking at me for a second, she bolted. I went after her, watching as she climbed out an open window. I hadn't even checked if everything was locked yet because I had just moved in, and that had given her the entry she needed. I slammed the window shut, then checked the locks and everything in the house. Gradually, the adrenaline wore off and I began to feel the pain in my abdomen. I looked down to see dozens of deep, jagged cuts from her fingernails. I called 911 to report the incident to the police and have my wounds treated. The police said the description I gave matched that of a criminally insane woman who had recently escaped from a nearby mental hospital. I had no idea there was such a facility in the area. I never heard anything about her after that, whether she was caught or still roams the streets. I think about her almost every night.
That jump in the
Sometimes it makes me want to sell the house and move as far away as possible.
Please do, Gengi.
A long time ago, I worked at Chuck E. Cheese. Yes, I was the rat, the complete stranger in the suit that parents let roam around and interact with their kids. However, this isn't a confession of some creepy shit I did decades ago, but something that happened to me. To be honest, I can't say there was ever a pleasant moment wearing that suit. The other 40 minutes out of the hour were usually spent washing dishes, taking out the trash, or doing some other menial task. Beyond that, the horde of kids was an absolute nightmare.
I remember Chuck E. Cheese, man.
Anyway, I have something much more specific to talk about.
It was a vibe, bro.
I was in the suit one day going through the arcade when I noticed something out of the corner of my eye. I didn't have good peripheral vision in the mask, but I could see that there were two people staring at me. At that time, I couldn't even tell
Get your hair done.
each other, but they seemed anxious about something as they were fidgeting and shifting around. I soon moved on from that area, but I couldn't get away from them. Every time I stopped in a new spot and looked around, I'd catch a glimpse of those two weirdos staring at me while picking at themselves. They were obviously following me, but I couldn't recognize a single kid that was with me the entire time that they might be watching. Admittedly, a little freaked out, I tried to ignore them. I was walking toward the entrance to the changing room, but then they got in my way. They literally blocked the entryway, and now, since they were front and center, I finally got a good look at them, a sight that made me wish I didn't have eyes. The man towered over me, standing
Man,
at
God
least 6'2",
dang, bruh.
with roided out muscles bulging through his skin.
Hey, look. The muscles, man. The muscles can't beat no 762, man. I ain't gonna lie. See, the muscles is just for fast. It's just for the shows, all right? You could be a bodybuilder, boom, boom, boom. You know, boom, boom, boom. Bro, you know that little, if y'all know, if you know, you know. Oh, it's this little popular content creator. I forgot who his name was, but he would be in the gym and he would literally pick up four 45s easily. You know who I'm talking about too. He got the heavy broom and everything. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
The woman was barely
know who
over
I'm talking
4
about.
feet tall, skinny as hell, with sunken eyes and sagging skin. Despite the fact she was obviously much older, she was dressed in frilly pink girl's clothes, which looked like they'd been fished out of a dumpster.
Dang.
There was a rule that no adults could enter the play area without being accompanied by a child, so I had no idea which one of my lazy-ass coworkers let this 40-year-old drug addict pass for a kid, but I was sure about to tear them a new one. The first thing the guy said was, "Hey man, how much for the suit?" I told him it wasn't for sale, but then he just flat out asked me to let him put it on. I declined once more, only for his face to instantly swell up and turn beet red. I thought he was about to knock me out, but then the woman grabbed his arm, looked at me with the most horrendous attempt at puppy dog eyes, and begged me to let her
Yo, okay, oh my god, I can't keep staring at that. I literally can't. I'm getting freaking shivers just from looking. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Hold on, let me let that jump play. Because nah, bro, like that jump literally just like it's giving me shivers. Like I'm thinking her eyes going smaller and every time I blink, bro, I'm thinking that jump going smaller and like, bro, no, bro, I can't look at that, bro.
I knew exactly what kind of
I'm not
effed up
going
shit
for
these
that,
people
little
wanted the suit for, and it made me want to throw up in it. Just then, a manager came up and asked what was going on. I simply pointed to the woman, and the manager knew instantly they had snuck in without a kid, so he escorted them out. Thinking the interaction was over, I went into the changing room and got out of the suit. After dabbing the sweat off my body and chugging some ice water, I rushed out the back door for a smoke break
Drink
before
water.
anyone could tell me to do something.
But don't do
I was
drugs.
standing out there by myself, leaning back against the wall, when I see two people round the corner. I instantly knew it was those two crackheads trying to find me, so I flicked my cigarette and turned back to go inside. But then I realized I had locked myself out. The door was always set to lock itself from the inside, and I'd forgotten to prop it open because I was so exhausted. Panicking, I started pounding on the door, hoping someone would hear me and open the door.
Yeah, nobody ain't saving you, buddy.
A few seconds later, I saw that the freaks were running toward me. I turned to haul ass. But then the second guy screamed, "You should have given me the suit." The next thing I knew, he plowed into me and put me in a chokehold. I was totally powerless, only able to watch as that demonic little woman pulled out a switchblade and pressed it against my stomach.
You got a switchblade, you know what I got. A switch!
They kept asking me to take them to the suit, but I told them I couldn't because the door was locked. Just as I said that, the door opened, and one of my coworkers came out to see what was happening. The look on their face was pure shock as they froze solid. The psycho screamed at them to get the Chucky suit and give it to them. The poor idiot stammered and stalled, causing the woman to start pushing the knife into my stomach. As soon as I felt it pierce the skin, I screamed at the top of my lungs, "Just go get it, goddammit." A minute later, 3 or 4 of my coworkers came out with different pieces of the suit, all of them looking like deer and headlights.
All for a Chucky doll.
The pieces were all
whoa. All for a Chuck E. Cheese mascot. There we go.
the ground. Then I was thrown back. When I caught my breath and looked up, the psychos were running off with the suit. They got what they wanted, but at least it was over. I only had a shallow wound from the knife, but I did lose my job.
Yo, word too, Gengi. You lose your job, gang. First of all, every Chuck E. Cheese should have a camera, okay? A Chuck E. Cheese should have a camera everywhere around it. You gonna lose, like, gang. You're gonna fire him over that, gang. If, oh my God, if I find that manager lacking.
Apparently, that stupid suit cost thousands of dollars, and the managers held me responsible for getting it stolen. Good riddance.
Yo, gang. I had to risk my life. You wanna fire me? I know where you live. I know where you live.
Anyway, it always smelled like ass. Unfortunately,
Yo, I gotta mute a lot of
that
parts
has
of this
left me
video.
with the unwanted thought of, what did those two do with the suit? I've given it far too much thought over the years. At best, they kept it for some sickening sexual fantasy. But at worst, they might have used it to try and lure the vulnerable and innocent into a trap.
That's scary, ain't
This
gonna
is
lie.
a true story from when I was 11 years old.
That's scary.
I was hanging out with my friend at a huge park complex that had playgrounds, stores, restaurants, and even places that taught classes on different activities and martial arts. Our parents had dropped us off there, planning to pick us up at 9 p.m. At 8, my friend had a dance class, so I decided to go to my twin brother, who was elsewhere in the park with one of his friends. As I was running over to him, I lost my breath and decided to duck into a shop that had AC, which turned out to be a place that taught painting lessons. The moment I entered, an old man walked up to me. He was wearing a white shirt with marker stains on it, so I figured he was the owner. With a crooked, forced smile, he said to me, "Want to watch me paint?" As a kid, I didn't know how to say no, so I said sure. We sat at a table where he had a canvas set up with a creepy drawing of what looked like a baby. Then he gave me his phone and told me to record him. So I did. For 20 eternal, awkward minutes, I sat quietly and watched him paint. There wasn't a single other person in the shop. It was just me and him. And I kept wondering why nobody was coming in. Over time, I got thirsty, so I timidly asked him for water. That was the first thing I'd said since we sat down. And as soon as I said it, his mood shifted. He gave me that same crooked smile, only
Yo,
more
get your
exaggerated.
freaking-
Then he got up and brought water for both of us.
Why the audio went
When
down?
he sat back down, he took his phone back and started asking me questions.
Hold on,
Now
y'all. My
ignoring the
bad.
painting, just entirely.
My bad. I was looking at my phone. Ain't gonna lie. I had ordered a lot of stuff from Shein just now. Like after I had said that lady should go ahead and get a Shein. Where I had ordered some a $50 freaking purple jeans. I guess if it's $50, it shouldn't be fake. So purple jeans, a little hoodie, more jeans, and
Focused on me.
a t-shirt,
He asked what school I went to,
a Hellstar
but I
t-shirt.
gave him the name of my old school since I
That
had
junk
just
coming in
switched.
tomorrow. I think I gotta see.
Next, he asked if I lived in the area. I lied and said that I didn't, but I had no clue if I was convincing. Then, he asked me if I had an Instagram, and if he could follow it. I knew something was wrong with the conversation.
Speaking of that, y'all should go to my Instagram. That's in the description below. Matter of fact, you can see it right there on the bottom of the screen right there. Just go ahead, tap in, bro. We lit over there too. Go ahead, tap in.
But I was too young and shy to know how to get out of it. Luckily, I gave him my fake account that didn't have any posts on it.
Smart.
I had become extremely uncomfortable, so I decided to call my mom. The trouble was, my phone died on the way to the mall, so I left it in the car. I did have my mom's number memorized, but I was still forced to ask the old man if I could use his phone to call her. In a mere second, the man's face changed.
Nope. Say no.
The fake smile was
He gonna say no. Money
replaced by a very real frown.
He gonna not do it.
He barked at me to go outside, saying he would call her out there. Scared by him raising his voice, but thinking I would finally get out of the situation, I did what he said. By then it was almost 9 p.m., and the park was emptying out. I got outside, waiting for the old man to follow me and pull out his phone. But the moment the door closed, he grabbed me by my wrist and pulled me into the alley right by the shop. I tried to scream, but he had his hand over my mouth, pushing my head back against the concrete wall. I cried silently, wondering if I was about to die. The man bent down and told me face to face that if I wanted to live, I had to do as he said. I nodded frantically. Then he told me to stay quiet and follow him deeper into the alley, rounding a corner where we weren't visible from the park. Behind the shop, he grabbed a rope that was tied around a dead tree, first tying it around my mouth, then my arms and legs. Then, he left me there and entered the shop through the back door. I didn't know what he could possibly be getting, but I knew it wouldn't be long until he would be back. The second I was alone, my mind entered overdrive. Like the fact he was no longer in my sight finally allowed me to think clearly. I remembered how I used to play kidnapper with my cousin and brother. Since I was the girl, I was usually the one that got captured. Because my cousin was freakishly good at tying knots, I had learned how to get out of even the toughest ones. It took a terrifyingly long time, but I managed to free my hands and legs. Then barely freed my mouth as the man came out the back door. He dropped all his stuff and sprinted towards me as he saw me.
You should have put your hands back behind your back. Now you got an old man finna run after you and probably do something else.
To the road. I ran
you
for
gone?
my life,
Oh, you gone?
through the
Oh,
remaining
okay.
crowds of the park until I found my brother. The man was long gone, and my mind was already trying to convince itself the whole thing was just a dream, something I made up. When my brother asked me why I was freaking out, I just kept saying it was nothing.
Go home.
My friend met up with us soon after. Then my mom arrived and took us all home. I wanted to, but I was too scared. It's just one of those irrational things a kid does sometimes, I guess. I tried forgetting about it. I almost did. About a month later, I went to the mall again. This time, I saw something that completely broke me. We passed by the same shop, and when I glanced inside, I saw the old man sitting with another girl my age who was clearly uncomfortable. I looked away immediately and put that image in the vault before I could even process it. I know it's terrible, but I repressed the memory entirely until very recently. I feel very guilty that I got out of that situation, only to leave the trap there for someone else. When I went back to that park years after it happened, the shop and the man were gone, replaced. I have no idea if he ever succeeded in doing whatever he planned with me, but I hope to God he didn't.
Oh yeah, nah. If he did that to you, and then he got another girl, oh yeah, you already know. There's no turning back. There's no saving that, buddy. You already know what happened. I hate people like that, bro.
I just turned 25.
I hate people like that,
took
man.
the trip to California
That
that
pissed
I've been
me off.
planning for months. I was traveling from the Dominican Republic, so I had 2 layovers and was primarily traveling overnight. The short flight into Miami was fine, but it was during my 2-hour layover there that I first encountered problems. While I was waiting for my plane to Colorado to arrive, I noticed a suspicious man sitting in the row of seats across from me. He was dressed in dark clothes that covered most of his
You not
skin.
mysterious, buddy. Nobody knows
His
you.
hat was tilted down, covering his eyes.
Nobody knows
He was
you.
holding his phone outward as if.
And
he
who
was
you
filming.
recorded though? Hey.
I couldn't think of any other reason why he would be holding his phone like that, but it was extremely crowded, so I figured it was unlikely that I was the focus. I just hoped we didn't get seated near each other. Unfortunately, luck was not on my side. I was seated next to the aisle in the very last row, and he was sitting by the window on the other side of the aisle. That meant only 2 chairs separated us, but when the plane finished boarding, the middle seat remained unoccupied.
He scooted down there.
So there was only one person between us. Shortly after, the plane took off. Then about an hour into the flight, I noticed that the man had pulled out his phone and was turned to the side, facing me. Realizing at this point he had to be filming me, I shot him a nasty look, but it didn't seem to do anything. He just kept on pointing his phone at me, and the person sitting between us was completely unaware.
Whoa, hold on. Let me change my screen right quick. Hold on.
I wasn't sure what else to do but call for a flight attendant.
All right, boom. Yeah. Back to the idiot in the middle. Hey, gang. You see. Hey, this is how exactly I would have been. Editor, go ahead, full screen this right quick. All right. First of all, hold on. Somebody sitting beside me. Let's say they right here on Sun John, right? Bro, I see somebody ahead of me recording me. I be like, hey gang, you see that man? You see that man right there on your right? You see how he like pointing that phone towards us, gang? Like, what you think about that, gang? On Sun John. If you got your headphones in, I'm gonna slap you, gang. I'm gonna say, hey fam, you see that right there? Like, word, like I'm gonna let you know, gang. Don't be dumb and act like you don't see me looking at that man trying to record on Sun John like that. Heck no, I ain't going for that. Cause then I'm having to switch both of y'all. Everybody died. Matter of fact, everybody dying on the plane. Now what? In GTA, of course, in GTA 5, of course, where I play RP a lot, YouTube, yeah.
When one of the women came over, I explained that the man by the window was recording me.
Okay.
She
Smart
turned to
move.
look at the man.
Smart
who was
move.
still blatantly recording, and asked him to stop.
He's still recording, ain't he?
She managed to get him to put his phone away, but literally as soon as she walked away, he took it back out.
Gang, come back. Hey, he recorded me again, bro. Come back.
While he was filming me, he simply said in a thick Russian accent, "Because you're beautiful." I told him to stop as he had no right to film me without my consent.
Hold on.
He just shook his head and
Let
said,
me go ahead and move my phone.
No, it's okay. I couldn't believe him.
Oh my God, I just broke my light. Oh my God, I hope my PC didn't mess up after that. If my PC still running, I ain't gonna lie. I gotta fix my light. I think I just broke my light. Yo, gang. Listen right quick, bro. Y'all gotta lock in sometimes. If I like, it's like so many things I would have did in this predicament. Oh my God, my light is broken. Oh my God, I gotta fix it, bro. Y'all gotta lock in, gang. You tell the flight attendant. You tell him put your phone down. Boom, boom, boom. Now you gotta watch him. You know what I mean? When you walking away now, make sure you turn your eyes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you look at him right quick. Boom. Make sure the people good. Boom. Look at him one more time. Put your phone back up, bro. Kick him off. You know what I'm saying? Throw him off the plane while the plane flying. What the world, bro? Hold on, I ain't gonna lie. I gotta fix my light though. Hold on, chat.
Who did he think
we
he
good.
was?
We good.
Who did he think I was? Clearly, there was no stopping him as long as he had a clear view.
Small behind
So I asked the person by the window seat on my side if we could
14
switch.
Pro Max Mini.
He'd been listening to the entire interaction.
That's a big
So
boy.
he agreed.
That's
He
a
was
big
heavier.
boy.
So his gut blocked the creep from being able to
Yeah,
get a good shot
get
of
mad
me.
now. That big boy saving
A
me.
little later, the cabin lights were turned down, so people could get some sleep since it was almost
Oh, GG's.
midnight. With the help of darkness, I felt like it was finally over with. So I also settled in for a nap. But I soon realized I was not going to get comfortable unless I got up to use the bathroom. Since we were at the back of the plane, the bathrooms were literally right there. Both were unoccupied, so I took the closest one. I'm not kidding when I say the second my
I'm
ass
blurring
touched
that.
the toilet seat.
Yep, and
someone
I'm muting
tried to
that.
open the door.
Yeah, I'm blurring and
I
I'm
kept
muting
shaking,
that.
trying to break the
Wait,
lock.
not yet. Hold
I
on.
hurried to cover myself up. But then I heard a flight attendant tell the person that the lavatory was occupied.
Oh, okay, never mind. We
Then they
good, chat.
responded by playing dumb in
We
the
good,
same
chat.
Russian accent,
We good.
confirming what I already thought, that the creep from before was trying to film me in the bathroom. I was in disbelief. What a sicko. I couldn't relax for a moment the rest of the flight. When the plane landed, I rushed to get away from it. My next flight was scheduled 3 hours later, but on the opposite side of the terminal, so I hurried over there anyway. I put my bags down next to someone and asked them to watch my stuff for a moment while I went to the bathroom, as I was never able to actually go on the plane. They agreed. Then I basically ran into the bathroom.
Okay.
Surprisingly, there was nobody in there except for a few occupied stalls, only because it was the middle of the night. I sat down in a stall.
Yeah, I'm muting that. Yeah, chat, how y'all boys been doing today, though, chat? Oh, hold on.
Yell out, "Hey, stop that." I looked
Yo!
up and saw a phone peeking over the stall door. It was the same one from the plane. That pervert had followed me across the airport and into the bathroom. I screamed in shock, trying to cover myself up. The phone quickly disappeared behind the door. Then I got up and put my pants back on as quickly as possible, ready to kill that piece of shit. But when I got out, he was gone. The woman who walked in on him apologized, saying he ran past her. I felt so violated. I was completely exposed and vulnerable for a significant moment there, and he captured all of it. I wanted to rip my skin off. Tracking down security, I told them the whole story. They said they would look for him, but since he seemed to be already long gone, there was little they could do. It took everything in me not to cry the entire time I was—
Twin, you are security. If you see somebody looking very suspicious, gang, it's your job to investigate, buddy. But you know what? At the end of the day, gang, airport security, y'all better be on point, bro. That boy better be on point, little twin. Or we coming after y'all.
was waiting for my next flight. I felt trapped in that airport. All I wanted to do was go home, but I refused to let my trip get ruined before it even started. When I made it to LA, I was almost able to forget about what happened. But every time I had a second of quiet, I remembered. Even now, months later, I can't stop thinking about it. It makes me sick to my stomach to think that creep is still out there, exposing other women.
Well, I would have popped him right there. Right. I had a little, bah. But look though, chat, ain't gonna lie. It was a little weird, a little more crazy, scary video, but a little bit weird, like in the mix of it. But I ain't gonna lie, that jump was crazy. They channel link will be in the description below. Make sure y'all boy go ahead and tap in and stuff like that. I'm finna go slide, bro. Anything else? I had a great birthday weekend, bro. Y'all went crazy in the DMs, stuff like that. And yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I'm finna go ahead and slide, bro. I'm finna go ahead and make another. Just go ahead and make today right now, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I'm finna just go ahead and make so many videos for y'all boys so I can have them edited and godly big arms. But yeah, I'm finna go ahead and slide, bro. And yeah, this is your boy Tippy. We'll see y'all boys in the next one, y'all boy.